Okay, we're doing a garden tour. These are all my delicious vegetables I've planted. We start here. We got a box of Purple Majesty potatoes with an eggplant. Those are supposed to be good companions, eggplants and potatoes. Here we've got some strawberries. Snuck a little onion in there as well. This one big strawberry plant and then the little guy there, they were actually about the same size when I got them. One of them took off, the other one not so much. Got a couple more strawberry plants here. Those are actually perennials, so they'll come back for the next couple years. Here we have a Better Boy tomato plant. This is a hybrid of one I grew last year, the Big Boy. It's supposed to get even bigger. Did something a little different with the soil in this one. Added a lot more calcium than usual. Trying that out. Supposed to be good for the tomatoes and stop blossom end rot, which is a problem I had last year. Got a little sweet bell pepper plant there. Here we have a couple of, I believe these are squash plants, acorn squash plants. And then we got this guy here, a nice big red bell pepper plant. And then the bed, the main bed, which I started actually last year, got a bunch of stuff going on. We've got tons of onions. You can see the onions in the bed are doing actually really well. They're getting pretty huge. We've got our ghost peppers here. Those rank at a Scoville level of something like 2 million. Some of the hottest peppers you can get, next to the Carolina Reaper. Here's a cow horn pepper. This is one I have not tried before. Yeah, I actually don't remember if this is a spicy one or a sweet one. But, oh yeah, hot pepper, that's what it says right there. We've got some zucchini. That one did really well for me last year. That was actually my best producer besides my Big Boy tomato plant. Got a little dill, a little rosemary. Here's my another tomato plant, a yellow tomato plant called the Lemon Boy. A little bag with some onions and a sweet bell pepper plant there. This guy is a Fresno chili plant. This is actually one of my favorite chilies. Nice and spicy, but not too spicy. It also has a nice flavor. And it's got a companion there, a little broccoli plant. Here are my salads, 3 different varieties of lettuce, red leaf, romaine, and butter crunch. Here's another tomato plant, the Pink Girl. Supposed to be a nice early producer, and I companioned that one with a little parsley. Here we have another zucchini. I'm just letting that one go on its own, letting it do its thing. Here we have yet another tomato plant. This one I hear very good things about. It is a sun sugar tomato plant. Also did a very calcium-rich soil with this one. Added a couple handfuls of dolomite lime. Now the interesting thing about these guys, the ones that are in the planters, not the raised bed there, is I filled the planters, both the smaller boxes and the sort of larger trash can ones, up about 3/4, maybe 4/5 of the way with up to about there, you can see, with yard waste, just branches, sticks, that kind of thing, and then topped it off with a nice mixture of sometimes potting soil, sometimes topsoil, sometimes a mixture of both, with a little bit of compost mixed in. Here we have an eggplant plant with a little spearmint. And then this guy is another couple of eggplants. Here I threw in a couple of muskmelons, a couple of cantaloupes. Supposed to be nice big producers, and a broccoli plant, which is apparently a good companion for melons. I might actually thin those out. I'll probably leave them in there for a little bit and then take out whichever one doesn't do as well as the other. I figured I'd start them off with both. Now this guy is the one I planted specifically for Madeline. We've got a nice cucumber plant in there. A couple broccolis. I'm probably going to take one of the broccolis out depending on which one does better. But yeah, the cucumber I'm expecting a lot out of. That's supposed to be a nice big producer. And I'm going to take you over here around the side where I have a little bush. I made this little brick container here and put in a blackberry bush. This guy was just a couple sticks with maybe like 3 or 4 leaves when I put him in mid-April, and you can see he's blown up since then. Down there we got a nice little companion for the blackberry plant, the cayenne pepper plant. I wasn't looking too healthy when I got him home from the store, but we'll see how he does in there. And it's a very nice rich soil that I put the blackberry bush in. I really want to get some nice growth out of that because I'm hoping it'll last me for a couple years, 3-4 years maybe. Now around the side here I have planted a little watermelon patch. Got I think 5 watermelon plants in there, little watermelon seedlings. So I'm probably going to have to thin out some of these branches on this tree to get it a nice amount of sun that it needs all day. But hopefully we'll see some watermelons there. I know those usually need a little bit more space than what I've given them. So I might thin them out, maybe go down to 2 or 3 plants later in the year. And then up front here we have some little pots that I put out front just because we get some good sun here. First we have some onions with a nice little sweet bell pepper. Those are good companions. A little lavender plant in the pot. Hopefully that grows. It's not doing too well at the moment. More onions and sweet bell pepper. A couple sweet bell peppers on their own. A little eggplant plant there. And then around the side, these are my leftovers. I'm probably going to take those over to my parents, see if they want them. And then this is my big boy, my potato tower. Apparently I should expect to get at least like 60 pounds of potatoes out of this. It's quite interesting how I made it. Do a layer of straw, a layer of soil, put the potatoes in that layer, throw some more straw, more soil on top, another layer of potatoes. I did about 5 pounds of seed potatoes, so we'll see how that goes. I'm just starting to see a few little sprouts out of the side here. I don't know if you can see those little green guys sticking out, but those are the potato leaves. I got one kind of big set of leaves on the top here. Threw in another eggplant plant on top as well, just supposed to do well together. Down here, these are a little patch of, I didn't realize this at the time, but a little patch of wild onions I found growing in the yard. Actually, accidentally sprayed them with some Roundup when I was killing the weeds out of this whole area here. But they are kind of starting to poke back. They were completely dead for a while. Now I'm starting to see a little green, so I've piled up some nice nutrient-rich compost on top of them, hoping they come back stronger. Maybe not this year, but hopefully next year. And then I just surrounding the base of the potato tower, put in a couple of my extra plants. I'm not expecting these to do as well as the ones that I've got in the nice pots, but we'll see how they do. Got a couple squashes and melon plants that were left over. This little alleyway here gets sun most of the day, so I figured I'd just throw like a little extra container here. This guy is another melon plant, and then just down the side another extra. I believe that one is an acorn squash plant and a little broccoli just in the ground, seeing how they do. Those are more of an experiment, just to see if just to see what happens if you stick something in the ground as opposed to in a nice pot. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's the garden tour. Hope you guys like it, and we'll have lots and lots of delicious fresh tomatoes, squash, acorn squash, melons, cucumbers, all kinds of things, onions, to share with whoever wants to come by and pick some up. Later, guys.